I mean, I can't even imagine buying a stock that doesn't pay a dividend. Why would you do that? What would be the reason you would do that? I don't get it.
Kevin OLeary is a successful entrepreneur, investor, and probably best known for his role on Shark Tank. But what most don't know about Mr. Wonderful is he loves dividend-paying stocks, so much so that he even created his very own dividend ETF. So in this video, we will be taking a deep dive into Kevin OLeary's dividend ETF, OUSA. But first, let's hear from Kevin on exactly why he loves dividend ETFs.
If you look at the volatility in the market around names that don't pay dividends, they're extremely volatile because there's no cushion of yield. What's the value of a stock that never returns capital to its shareholders? I don't know, because the only way you can make money is if somebody else is willing to buy that position at a higher price for some emotional reason perhaps, or for some foresight that maybe the company will return capital one day. And I think of when you learn as an investor over multiple decades is the only thing that matters is free cash flow. That's it. There is no other reason to own a stock. And with that philosophy, it brings you into a place where you focus on a company's ability to generate incremental cash flow, because just owning a dividend-paying stock is not good enough. Because let's say we find a stock today that's paying a 3% dividend yield, and tomorrow, because its forecast for sales get cut in half, the stock drops by 50%. Now it's yielding 6%. I don't want to own that stock either. I mean, I can't even imagine buying a stock that doesn't pay a dividend. Why would you do that? What would be the reason you would do that? I don't get it.
Kevin makes a great point in pointing out that growing free cash flow is by far the most important thing that an investor can look for. This is exactly what I pointed out on my Twitter account the other day. Growing free cash flow is the lifeblood of a company. With free cash flow, a company can reinvest for organic growth, pay down debt, attempt acquisitions and takeovers, buy back shares, and of course, pay out dividends. Let's go ahead and turn back to Kevin again for a further explanation of OUSA.
Hi, I'm Kevin OLeary from Shark Tank and chairman of OShares ETFs. Many people ask me about investing and the ETFs I have in my portfolio. Here's how I invest in US large cap stocks. OUSA, an ETF with over 100 large cap quality dividend stocks. It has given me great performance and dividend income. I don't want all the 500 biggest companies, just the higher quality companies. So I own OUSA. Here's the best part. I get performance that has kept up with the S&P 500 with 30% less downside during stress events. This is a US large cap ETF that I helped build and is in my portfolio.
If we look at the investment strategy for OUSA, we'll see that the goals for the fund seem to align with what Kevin talked about in the previous video. According to the fund's website, OUSA is designed to provide cost-efficient access to a portfolio of large cap and mid-cap high-quality, low-volatility dividend-paying companies in the United States, selected based on fundamental metrics including quality, low volatility, and dividend growth. The fund is currently trading at around $44.85 per share and has a 9.42% year-to-date return and currently has $694 million in assets under management. The fund seeks to track the performance before fees and expenses of the OShares US Quality Dividend Index, OUSAX. This is an index that is rebalanced quarterly and goes through a reconstitution process every single year. And while the fund's inception was in 2015, OShares partnered with SS&C Alps in 2022 with the goal of improving the distribution and growth of the OShares ETFs like OUSA. If we look at the top 10 holdings for OUSA, you'll notice a lot of recognizable dividend growth companies that I talk about a lot on the channel. And a lot of these are companies that I actually own in my personal portfolio. You can see Microsoft currently makes up around 5% of OUSA, Home Depot close to 5%, S&P Global around 4.6%, Apple 4.33%, Marsh & McLennan Companies 4%, Johnson & Johnson 3.9%, Merck & Co 3.7%, T. Rowe Price Group currently sitting at around 3.5%, McDonald's sitting at 3.36%, and Texas Instruments right at 3%. Combined, the top 10 holdings make up 40% of all of the portfolio, and you can see there are currently 102 total holdings in this portfolio. If we scroll up, you can see technology, financials, and healthcare are by far the biggest sectors in this portfolio. portfolio. Technology comes in at around 20.5%, financials 18.9%, healthcare 18.85%. We then have consumer cyclical sitting at around 15.4%, industrials 11.44%, consumer defensive sitting at 10%, and communication sitting at 4.82%. You'll also notice that energy is no longer a sector listed in this portfolio, but it previously was in the first video we saw in 2019. If we look at the fund's performance year to date, we can see they're up around 8.42%, and over the past year, up around 9.48%. So pretty decent performance so far this year. If we come over here, we can see the fund has a starting dividend yield sitting at just 1.85%. So although it is a dividend-focused ETF, the starting dividend yield really isn't that high. Now, one concern I do have about this ETF is the expense ratio. Expense ratio is currently sitting at 0.48%. This means that for every $10,000 you have invested into this fund, you'll pay $48 every single year, which is quite a bit higher than a lot of other dividend ETFs that I like SCHD or DGRO. Speaking of those other dividend ETFs, let's compare OUSA's performance to those two over the past few years. You can see here, if we come down here, we are looking at the total return for OUSA, SCHD, and DGRO for about the past 3 years, and it looks like OUSA has actually underperformed these other two dividend ETFs. It's up around 29.54%, while SCHD is up around 41.68%, and DGRO is up around 38.4%. I've already mentioned that the fund has a starting dividend yield sitting at 1.85%, but if we dig into the dividend history for this fund a little bit more, one of the things you'll notice is that the dividend payments for this fund are actually paid out every single month, and the amount it pays out can fluctuate by quite a bit. We can see there was one month where the dividend payout was as low as around 2 cents per share, but it's also had months where it's been as high as around 9 cents per share. In order to better understand the dividend payouts and the dividend growth rates of this fund, I plugged in every single dividend payment this fund has ever paid out so we can see our year-over-year dividend growth rates. You can see in 2016 they paid out around 63 cents per share for the entire year, and in 2023, based on the dividend payments so far, I'm projecting they're going to pay out around 81 cents per share. So that's a 9-year dividend compounded annual growth rate of around 3.9%, which really for a dividend ETF, it's okay, but it's nothing special, but you can see this visualized over the past few years. And while I do think it's difficult to perform valuations on ETFs, I do think in some cases the dividend discount model can make sense for dividend ETFs. So let's go ahead and perform that valuation. But basically I plugged in the past few years dividend payouts for OUSA so we can see those year-over-year dividend growth rates. Based on the past few years, the average growth rate is sitting at around 1.75, but like we just saw, the 9-year dividend compounded annual growth rate is sitting at around 3.9%. Now, based on the current holdings for this ETF, I do think much higher dividend growth rates are attainable in the near future. So I am being a little more aggressive based on the historical data here, but assuming a dividend growth rate of around 5% and a discount rate of 8%, we come to a dividend discount model price per share of just $28.44. Pretty far off from that current trading price. But again, keep in mind there is a lot more to valuing ETFs than just using the dividend discount model. To summarize my thoughts on this ETF OUSA, I generally agree with this article I found on Seeking Alpha. It's really an ETF focused on capital preservation. It has about 100 stocks in its portfolio, so it is well diversified, and it's based on quality, volatility, and dividends. There are some quality metrics and quality holdings with this fund, but the valuation isn't necessarily the best. The past performance has been average, but due to the high quality holdings and the low volatility levels of the fund, it may help preserve capital during a bear market. In my opinion, I'd much rather hold a dividend ETF like SCHD or DGRO. You get a better starting dividend yield, more share price appreciation, and much better dividend growth rates. While I appreciate Kevin O'Leary and his approach to dividend investing, I still think there are better options than OUSA. It's also worth pointing out that OUSA is no longer OShares only ETF. They also have OGIG, which is the OShares Global Internet Giants. They also have OUSM, which is the OShares US Small Cap Quality Dividend ETF, and OEUR, which is OShares Europe Quality Dividend ETF. Go ahead and let me know in the comments down below what you think of Kevin O'Leary's OUSA Dividend ETF. If you'd like to join a community of dividend investors and get access to all of my spreadsheets, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.